Happy Tuesday, everyone, and my name is Hiram, Pictures English Country and English book to read today. Dirty Bertie Mud story, chapter 4, and the end of chapter. Oh, there is no more chapter right now, so we can have to read another story tomorrow, okay? And now, one more time, start the reading mode. It's a magic treehouse, polar bears past bedtime. And we can have to through the 4 chapter 4 and the end of chapter 5, okay? And are you ready for these 2 book and 2 stories? Here we go! First, we can read Magic Treehouse, polar bears past bedtime. Snow house. A duck sled swims gently, silently over the frozen tundra, and the seal hunter ran outside it. Sometimes they cracked bits of gas of ice. The snowdrifts looked like a giant white sculptures, and the sun slipped behind the frozen hills. Then a full orange moon rose in the sky. Oh. The moon looks like orange. The moon was not an orange color. It's yellow. The moonlight lit a small rounded igloo in front of them. The dog sled slowed, then stopped. Jack stepped on the sled, and Annie went out to help and sledded ducks. And Jack took on his book out of his read about igloos. And the word igloo means house in their language of the native Arctic people. The house is built with blockets of snow, dry the good old material because it keeps the heat. And the temperature inside the igloo can be a 65 dangerous warmer than the temperature outside. Then he took the notebook and he pulled out the mitten just long enough to write. Igloo means house. Oh yeah, igloo is a house for an Arctic who live in Arctic. Come on, Jack, said Annie. She and the seal hunter was waiting for him in front of the igloo. The dog was very large out of and dug outside. Jack hurried to join them. The hunter approached. Outside the animal, the skin was all covering the ice stain, and there's stuff inside. It looked a little bit icy, so it'll be cold, but inside it'll be a little bit warm for Arctic people. And then they step inside. The flat candle burned brightly. The shadows danced on an ice of snow. And Jack and Annie sat in the fur covered the platform, and they watched the seal hunter move about. Just he lit a small stove and they slipped outside, came back with a snowball and the train some frozen milk, and he put out the snowball and put it over the stove and they ate a meeting. What is make? Asked Annie. Jack pulled out his book and found a picture of a hunter cooking. And he and Annie read a waltz of silently. Wow, it looked very comfortable. There was time when nearly all the Arctic people food was closing until it was time for Arctic animals, actually the seal. Then nearly every part of the seal couldn't eat and leather filled it with a seal flat, and its clothing was made from the sea skin, and their clothes and native were covered for seal bones. And it must be boiling a seal meat, said Jack. Pull seals, said Annie. The seal hunter looked up. They're not 4, he said. They help us because they know how to dive it up them. Oh, said Annie. And in return, we always the animals split, said the seal hunter. How do you do that? Said Jack. We have many special comrades, said the seal hunter, and he reached under the fur covered plate and took out a wooden mask. Soon they'll become really part of the split polar bear, he said. I covered these with my maps of measuring. Poor polar bears? Said Annie. Yes, said Seal Hunter, just as the seal has given them many gifts, so has the polar bear. Like what? Said Jack. A long, long ago, the polar bear taught us how to live in ice and snow, said the Seal Hunter. Died you? Said Jack. I mean, can you give us some facts? The Seal Hunter smiled. Yes, he said. The polar bear catches the seal when he had his seals come up and raised to about a whole lot. So all the seal hunters watched the polar bear and learned. It's all how my father taught me how to sail. As he father taught him. That's a good fact, said Jack. The very first of my people learned to English from the polar bears, said the hunter. Polar bears build snow houses by digging caves in my drifts. Oh, another good fact, said Jack. Sometimes the polar bear can even teach people to fly. Polar bear can fly? What does that mean? Polar bears have no wings, but why can polar bears fly? It's very in my storybook. And that's an amazing fact, said Annie. Jack smiled, and Brett sounded a true fact. He said, but I know that pretend. And the hunter just laughed and turned back to cooking. Why, there wasn't surprised to hear about the treehouse, thought Jack. If he believes polar bears can fly, I probably would believe anything. And the seal hunter lifted a string that bolted seal out of a pot. And he dropped them into a wooden basket and gave it to Annie. Let's build the ducks, he said. Oh boy, said Annie. He followed the hunter outside, taking a bucket. And Jack quickly told his notebook and an object book in his pack. And he started to follow them, and their gas fell on two bear masks. And they picked up them into the better look, and they covered the shapes in the polar bear's face without blown nose and rubber fissures, and there's two holes up the eye, and there's straight into her head. Suddenly, the house split in the air. The duck was barking and growling. Annie speaks, and there are ducks acting here. Jack wonders. Annie is still holding a bear mask, and Jack turned out of the igloo. Chapter 5 right now. Your exam tomorrow will be started for chapter 5 and the end of chapter 6, okay? And now one more time, so to read about it, some Dirty Bertie Mud story, and started for chapter 4. Chapter 4, Splut, Splut, Splut. Bertie padded around in glow mouth. So far they didn't lead any goals. Personally, they're being playing for 5 minutes and they're pretty good. It was just Reddy rather sorry about. He didn't rather him. Bertie loved mud. Out there was always getting to have to keep out for it. But the goalkeepers was all they actually expected to get muddy. It's part of a job. And Bertie's blood told the puddle, and they wondered what she liked for her sliding. Jack sighed, and taking to run and slided across the goal, and the mud was spraying anyone. Not bad, there was two of the biggest puddle, and the goal was time shook it, Bertie called him. Down bush, and something zoomed past the net, and they looked up. Why isn't everyone cheering? The proper lane players on the goal and curling up the numbers of 9. And Bertie would turn her head slowly, the football, and sent it back to net. Mrs. Spoon turned and cried, Bertie, she thundered, what are you playing at? Sorry, I wasn't watching, said Bertie. Darren picked the ball out of the net. You were meant to try and stop it, he grumbled. I wasn't ready, escaped Bertie. Somebody, she'd tell him, was going to shoot. Presently, Jira's kicked up and there thought, and there's actually why? He hadn't for age, facing dip in anyone playing for a tiny musket. And their tiny line up the no Nick was giving to the thumbs up sign. Nice one, Bertie, he jipped. And for the rest of the heat, and Bertie tried the furious the Dane. And it wasn't too hard as the most of action looked place up their goal, Copper Lane, were all topped. And earnestly did everyone back and they feared grimly. And Bertie dived, slipped and shoot, and Mud goes to line up in his thrones, and he crashed up the post. Another thunder of a crossbar, and a third up the square, and dubbed at Bertie's legs and was going to until got stuck in a puddle. And it's just half time, and especially Peters was all dove of grief for only the goal down there, not please. He is protected, screeched Miss, but I didn't come in a way while you see lose. Now they respect this game. The second half began. There were ships on the metal and metal. The shore was got stuck back and the shores and back went. And as Mrs. Bill stuck at the splash every mood. And Massel happened to purposely scold. And was still now was surprised for everyone ending amazingly doubled by the ball gone. And goal! Was Mrs. Boo waving her umbrella. Goal! Cried Bertie, looking at the stand of the ball. Noah Nicholas shook his head, and there nothing to scrape. The 5 minutes left. And the squirrels just limited it 1-1. Come on, earnestly, roars Mrs. Boo. You can do it. Copper Lane licked. Earnestly keying up the ball, and the hood everywhere. And for the throw to number 9 was begging them to share the area. Come out, Bertie, said Darren. And their Bertie out of the goal and a freeze train. And then the more couldn't stop. Oh, their number 9 was flat at him. Beep, Robo got plantly. And the Prinsley Paris got only a few minutes left, and Bertie was going to cross them in the game. And they picked up their float back to the goal lines, and Tipple tipped right, and they was going to see that anyone was blaming. And he crouched in his hands already, in fact, as apparently before. And the number was pattered around and began to run it up. And Bertie heard someone singing loudly in his goal. There was only Patty's goal. Oh, and his parents are holy? And Bertie swing around to see Noel Nick screaming face down to whack. Wow! Something jumped on his back on his side head, and staring up the sub-riding his head, dazed. And Bertie saw a ball bounce out of the mud, and the Richard grabbed it before it could cross in the line seconds later and moving by the tea times. Brilliant, Bertie! What a save! You aren't even looking! And the corner ran at him, slapping on his back and the grainier spit in his house of grass. Soon after, the whistle blew and ended the game. Pernicious players threw out their arms in air. And Mrs. Boo against the play puddles and a drop against the mud. Purple claim as good as a victory. And Bertie was screamed up pitch by cheering tumblings, and outside was soaring boy tried to sink away for it, and Bertie stopped and caught. A mud and teacher's looking splat. Oh, Bertie have a mud on his legs, so he took something and splat. So the Nick's face is very muddy right now. You gonna tickle in your face, Nick. And nothing did happen. Here's the English culture. Come back with some better books. And yours goodbye. And the book will be goodbye to Dirty Bertie Mud. Sorry, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I mean, she's story to see tomorrow again. A new story to read. And these three stories we see tomorrow again. And Dirty Bertie golf and some sports and some soccer and some lots of friend-free Bertie. Dirty Bertie will be my book for today. And Dirty Bertie story will see tomorrow, but a new story to read, okay? And it's Magic Tree of Polar Bears Fast Bedtime will be see tomorrow. And some of it kind of polar bears and a sail hunter and some Jack and Nanny and an Arctic will be see tomorrow, okay? And now, thank you for listening to my YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube, and bye my friend, and have a nice day.